Hi boys and girls, auntie and uncle, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is CK and my channel is Psychology. And you hear the subway noise. And today, I am in New York City. New York City I am. I can't believe I'm saying that I am in New York City. This is the most fabulous city in the world. People say this is the center of the world, capital of the world, and most certainly New York City is one of the most expensive places to visit on earth. Yesterday I bought a sushi set that is $8 US. $8 US for a sushi. That's insane. So I've got to get very creative visiting New York City because it's really expensive. So in this video, I'm going to bring you to all the free places to visit here in New York City. Places where you don't have to pay a single cent. And New York is home to one of the most famous, all the famous iconic bridges, buildings. They're right here in New York. And a lot of them are actually free to visit. So in this video, I'm going to bring you there. So boys and girls, first stop is the most famous bridge in the world, the Brooklyn Bridge.
You said let's jump on the bus and take a ride downtown. Well, I don't know about that, but can you help me first to get these boxes down? Well, I don't know about that. We have the whole day now just to ourselves.
I tell you, the view here is absolutely mind-blowing. Completed 1883, designed by German-born architect John Roebling. Before John Roebling, suspension bridges just did not work. He was the one who cracked the code and designed and built this incredible bridge. When it was completed in 1883, this bridge was the tallest structure in the Western Hemisphere, not to mention the longest suspension bridge in the world, connecting Brooklyn and downtown Manhattan. It spans almost half a kilometer and it is almost, I think, 40 meters high up from the East River. You get the spectacular view of Lower Manhattan, and you can just about see Statue of Liberty over there. And right over here is Manhattan Bridge, another beautiful bridge. This is Manhattan Bridge, and this bridge was an engineer marvel when it was completed in 1883. To walk the entire length is really breathtaking. My tip of you here in Brooklyn Bridge is, of course, to walk from Brooklyn to Manhattan, and this is the view you get when you go by this direction. And of course, when you're vlogging, you want to vlog from this direction so the sun is up you. It is 7 a.m. in the morning. Come very, very early. It's 7 a.m. and the sun shines on Manhattan. So be here in the morning. It is, look at this, there's nobody if you come early in the morning. This is really, really breathtaking. I have no words to describe. So I'm gonna walk to Manhattan right now. Follow me.
You can try to seduce me, make me wanna play. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Let's call some friends over for a game of poker or so. Well, I don't know about.
So there was an incredible walk across the East River on top of the Brooklyn Bridge. It was just, I just really have no words. We're on now to our second stop, and second stop is only 15 minutes away from the Brooklyn Bridge on the Manhattan side, and you walk through this beautiful park right in the middle of the city. This is called the City Hall Park. It's a very small park, but it's really nice and super quiet in the morning. It's a very, very nice walk. And it's summer and things are blooming. It's really pretty here. So on to our next stop, which is 9/11 Memorial Park.
I don't know about that.
On September 11, 2001, 4 planes were hijacked by attacker. One plane crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. Another plane crashed in Pennsylvania, and 2 of the planes crashed in the North Tower and South Tower of New York City. 2,900 people lost their lives, and over 90 nationalities of people lost their life in New York City. The 9/11 Memorial Park was built to commemorate the people who lost their life here in New York City during the attack. The victims the name of the victims are carved on the bronze plate here. It also includes the victims of the 1993 World Trade Center attack, as well as the Pentagon's victims and the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania. Now, the design of the Memorial Park is actually a reflection pool, a square space that represents where the building stood. I am right outside here at the North Tower, the first tower to be struck. All the names of the victims here are carved in the bronze plate. The names are not alphabetically ordered, but it is grouped together by, let's say, the same group of people that work in the same office. They are grouped together, as well as the fire rescue people that work in the same branch of station. They are grouped together, which means they work together, live together, and they lost their life together. Now, each spray sprite of the water represent each victims that lost their life, and the water plunges down 20 feet. And as you can see, there's another square space right in the middle. The water plunges further down 10 feet into a void. The void represents the loss of life, the void of our heart. It is a very somber feeling here. They picked the element water because water symbolizes life here. And when you see a flower or a rose on one of the names, that means it's their birthday, and they put flowers on top of their names. This is a very somber memorial park. Lots of parents here explaining to the children what actually happened on September 11, 2000. I remember where I was in September 11. Was such a shocking day. It's really when the day stood still, when the whole world stood still. And I also really like the trees that is all planted all around the square space, representing a sacred place where we remember the victims of 9/11. Three weeks after the attack, the American invaded Afghanistan, and then the president at the time, George W. Bush, said that there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and the American also invaded Iraq. And it's now 21 years, and the 21st anniversary is coming up very, very soon. We ask ourselves, after 21 years, what has changed? The Americans just left Afghanistan, and things are not really very rosy in Iraq. And we really have to ask ourselves, have anything changed after 9/11? Has these people died in vain? And I see a lot of parents explaining to their children what actually happened on 9/11. I myself, I also don't really know the exact history of it. There was just one of the most tragic day in New York City, and this memorial I felt very well designed.
Brand new street and brand new me, side by friends I need. Don't you tell me that you're in town, I already know. Couple couple days ago. Hey, now that our
So we continue on our journey. Opened in June 2009, this is an elevated park and it has since become one of the most famous tourist attractions here in New York City. It is right here at the Meatpacking District. It spans about, I think, 3 city blocks, 2.5 kilometers long, and it is now an icon for contemporary architecture here in New York City, and it is filled with beautiful green plants. More than 500 species, I understand, of plants here at the High Line.
I'm calling your phone. I wish I could wipe my own memory out. I wish I could dream about somebody else. I wish I could talk when the silence so loud. I wish, oh I wish I could.
Very cute concept here at the High Line. It's shaped like a screen looking to downtown New York, and it's kind of like you can sit here and enjoy the view of the traffic. It's kind of like looking through real life, like movie theaters. It's a beautiful morning here in New York, and as you've seen in my video, I've walked through a lot of canopy jungle walk. This is like the same thing, but it's like the concrete jungle of New York, and it is so nice. Look, you're walking through all these beautiful green pasture, and this is not even like there's not much gardening going around. They just grow by the lot here, and it's not too manicured, and that's why I really liked the vibe and the feel here. And also Chelsea being one of the wealthiest district in New York City, you are like walking through the most opulent part of New York City with all the greenery here. It's absolutely amazing. Completely free, this walk, and I am so enjoying it. Come here early in the morning and there's absolutely nobody.
Memory out. I wish I could do something that will make sense. I wish I would know what you're thinking about. I wish I could wipe my own memory out.
So here I am at the most iconic train station in the world. This is Grand Central Station Terminal in New York City. This is really the most famous train station. A lot of movies, like the Marvel movies backdrop, is here at the Grand Central. And if you look up to the ceiling is the 12 constellation. The station was completed in 1913, which means next year it's gonna celebrate 110th anniversary. There's 44 platforms altogether in this station. It's really grand. The architecture style is called Brill Art. Don't miss the Tiffany clock, the famous Tiffany clock, which is valued at $20 million. This really is a very grand, incredible building. It is completely free. And I kid you not, there's an Apple store right here at Grand Central. But anyway, the architect, absolutely gorgeous. A must visit when you're in New York City. My favorite place in the world is the public library, and I am at the mothership of all libraries. Behind me is New York City Public Library. This building opened 1897, has more than 2.5 million items stored inside, and some of the rarest collections of books are found inside here, including a copy of the Gutenberg Bible printed, and also French philosopher Voltaire. His entire work is stored inside, including copies of work from Shakespeare printed before 1700. Let's go and explore this incredible library.
It's Friday night, how I'm longing for this day. Yes, I'm single, oh, we won't do mingle, and my friends are on the way. You got that good, good vibe. I want to spend some time back here with you.
So just finished filling the form and we're going into the treasure of the books.
Times you want to spend some time back here with me. Oh, and time after time, I am wondering who.
And there you go. This is what I've come to see. This is the copy of the Gutenberg's Bible. The Gutenberg Bible that is printed in Mainz. And this is it. This is the most valuable piece they have here in New York Public Library.
She's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that I can live without.
So I'm at Bryant Park, and it seems like here at Bryant Park they have like a game area. So they have like a game area, and it's totally free. And you can join people. You just sit down and choose the game you want to choose, and just sit down and play board games with other people. This is every day, 9 to 5, miss 11 to 7, every day. This is amazing. This is like very community here in Bryant Park in New York City.
I'm wondering who is she to me. I'm gonna tell you right now, 'cause she's the one I'm thinking of. Hey, the only one I'm thinking of. Hey, she's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that
Boys and girls, auntie and uncle, you've now visited with me the most famous bridge in the world, the most famous library in the world, and the most famous train station in the world. And now, there is our last stop. I'm taking you to my last stop for free things to do here in New York City. And we are right here at Central Park, New York City. Look at that view. Isn't that a $1 million view? Here we are at Central Park, New York City. This park spans 843 acres. It is the lung of New York, and history of this park goes back to two gentlemen by the name of Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux. Two of them came up with the winning design for New York Central Park with their idea of Greenwood expansion, Greenwood plan, which means they welcome all visitors with all different multiple entrance to the park. Now, by the early 20th century, the park fell into dismay, and it was actually an unsafe place to be here. Thanks to one person. That person's name is Commissioner Robert Moses. Yes, his name is Moses. Thanks to him, he reinvented the park, make the park safe again. And thanks to him, we now have the Grand Central Park of New York City of today. And it is so beautiful here. So many landmarks here to see. And they say if you line up all the benches here in Central Park, it will be 7 miles long. This truly is an oasis for New Yorker and for all the visitors.
she's everything I'm dreaming of. The one that I can live without. The one that I can live without.
But I'm delighted to be here today with you. Man, this race always elevates me. I can't even believe we're doing it together again, in person, with each other, like normal people. I may end up while you're stuck there, I may lick every one of you. That's how excited I am during a pandemic to see people again. Ladies and gentlemen, you ready to do it?
Yes!
Have yourself a beautiful race. I'm excited to be here with you today, and we'll see you at the finish line.
Oh, the mayor of New York City.
Thank you so much.
Mayor of New York City.
Visually impaired, I'm wearing a white shirt, brown skin, and just a bald head, you know? So this is just such an important run. I want to thank Achilles International, TD Banks, and my good friends, the road runners,
We've done so much together.
This is just the hand cycle start.
Wow.
Let's give it up for all our hand cyclists out there. We got some push room in there too.
I found a Malaysian here in New York
Selamat
City.
pagi,
And your name is?
Jackie. I'm
Jackie.
from Ipoh.
Jackie's from Ipoh, and you live here in New York City?
22 tahun.
22 years in New York. You're a real New Yorker. So tell my audience, tell all the Malaysians why they should visit New York City.
Beautiful country, beautiful state. This is Central Park. You see a lot of people, a lot of friendly people. We don't bite.
Better than the coffee in Ipoh?
Better than a coffee. Oh no, no, Ipoh coffee is the best.
Ipoh coffee is still the best. Teh tarik, oh my god.
Coffee the best. But
Well, I'm
still come visit
so
us.
glad to see a fellow Malaysian here.
Yes. I hope to see you soon.
Visit New York City. So there you go, boys and girls. Those are the free places you can visit here in New York City. All these attractions, I did not spend a single cent. So if you plan well, you can really save a lot of money here in New York City. And now with this video, you know what to do if you don't want to spend any money here in New York City. I leave you with the word of former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, who was born here in New York City. She said, do something that scares you every day of your life. Yes. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you stay tuned for more videos of New York City, my adventure here in New York City. And if you can't wait for those videos, I have videos of Florida, my favorite state here in the United States, and also my adventure of how I got to New York City. I'll see you in my next video. Bye from Central Park.